Okay, so Deja Vu episode 2. Honestly, my favorite people of the whole episode was Lori. Lori was my favorite person out of the whole episode. This was Lori's episode. Last episode was Nola's. This time is Lori's. So we're at the place they're all sitting. Before we even get there, I don't like DTV's friend exotic or whatever, trying to fight for her friend's battles. You're no longer there, so it's no longer needed. I want to have smoke with her. Also, if me myself, I have my own opinion, my own way of doing. I cannot like you for touching my friend, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight you, especially if you and my friend already got down where y'all mad at. My purpose is no longer needed unless she try to jump you, you feel me, while I'm with you. Then that's when I'll step in, you feel me. But other than that, that's between two grown women, and especially if they already got done what they did, I'm not gonna say anything. So honestly, I feel like she was overplaying her role, quote unquote, as DTP's friend, and I feel like that was her only storyline to usher her into the episode. Honestly, off of the back of her friend, and I feel like that's corny, especially if you're trying to make a name for yourself. You should have just came in and be like, hey, I'm exotic, I'm DTB's best friend. I didn't really like that whole situation that went down between you and her, but I don't respect everything that went down, but I'm not gonna overly assert myself and be like, yeah, bitch, I wanna fight you and da. I'm not doing all that. That's not my place, especially for y'all already, like I said, got down where y'all was mad at. And I liked how Lori stepped in for Nola and was like, y'all ain't gonna double tag her or double team her on a situation that's old. We're already in a new chapter right now. We're in a whole new scene. Why are we still talking about this? You get what I'm saying? But that was like playing catch up and stuff like that. Also, they had new people coming in. So Exotic came in. They also had Mr. Fox come in. Everyone was calling him ugly. I didn't think he was ugly. He's just tall. You feel me? That's it. I feel like the most attractive thing about him is his height. I wouldn't say he's cute for me, but I don't to deem him as ugly. I feel like that's unfair because I don't think he's ugly. He seemed pretty chill. He was like, you feel me? I ain't gonna do that whole sneak thing. If we need to head up, we gonna say that, and that's that. So I respect that. Then Cuban came in, you feel me, Cuban doll. I haven't seen her or heard from her since the last thing that I listened to of Cuban doll is Let It Blow. And that was so long ago when I was in high school. So it's good to kind of see her on the screen so we can get more personality and who she really is as a person. She came in cute with her blonde bust down. You feel me? Just getting the tea and the scope of everything that was going on as far as what was up and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool to see her. I wasn't expecting to see her. You feel me? Because usually when these shows come out, I don't really pay attention to the whole cast rollout thing or pay attention to all the podcasts and stuff like that all the time. So it was interesting to see her on her screen. So I'm just excited of what she's gonna bring and just showing more of herself. You feel me? Because I don't really know who she is. Like I never really followed her whole lore. So it'll be interesting to see her and her being like older and stuff like that and her perspective and stuff like that. So while Cuban walks in and she's playing catch up. Oh, also Mel showed up. So that's nice that Mel's there. Mel, she didn't really do too much. She was kind of just chilling, I'm here, catch me up type vibes, like Cuban catch me up type vibe, and what's going on. Morley Cuban wanting to know what's up. So you feel me? Exotic is basically telling the whole situation of what ran down before they even got inside the restaurant and stuff like that. Then as she's explaining it, she's like talking about Lori, how she kept interjecting herself and just doing too much and just popping out the mouth, whatever. And Lori was basically like, this bitch, like, you feel me, she just keeps trying to drag an old situation that's already over with and dead. So I don't get why we're still discussing it, still talking about it and stuff like that. I feel like she's annoying at this point. So yeah, so then after like Lori was being patient because she was like, yo, I'm gonna fight you, you feel me? Like I feel like Lori was being so good, like she was being so good until she was like, wanna know what? it. I'm gonna fight. And she threw that water. She literally slid past, who was there? LaRue, that girl from BBO who was on the cast with Sav, because I don't remember her name. She talks too. She's like a neutral to me, you feel me? I don't really care for her, nor do I dislike her. She's just a neutral castmate to me, honestly. But her skin is really clear, you feel me? So yeah, she has good skin, so I'll give her that. But yeah, she slid by them people after she threw that water and hit her with the ba ba ba. You feel me? I think she had like 3 or 4 little punches in there. She was like, yeah, I had a popper. She was talking too much for me. Okay? So then when they got back to the house, they were both on that. You feel me? They were both on that. Exotic threw her wig off, and Lori, she just started. And then she was like, hold on, let me put my bonnet on, because, you know, I got my quick weave in or whatever. I don't want to mess that up. After Lori put that bonnet on, got active immediately. She was just, just connecting straight forward. And then when they got to that corner, and you know Lori's signature, when she does like her hook, she was creaming her. And then afterwards, all you saw before the ending was just knots on her head and her nose was bleeding. So it's just like you got busted up off of your friend and off of just not knowing how to shut the fuck up. That's why I said it's good to have your own state of mind. And then you saw how Diamond was quiet when she was going back and forth with Lori, because Diamond didn't want to fight Lori. Diamond did not want to fight Lori. She didn't even try to jump in for her friend when she saw that she was getting fucked up by Lori. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's important to have your own mind. She would have saved herself from getting her ass whooped and getting knotted up if she just minded her business. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's good to have your own state of mind. But that episode was pretty cool to me. I don't really care about Levi giving Diamond the body like freaking flowers and red bombs. Like, that's cool, whatever. I didn't really care for that. That wasn't like the highlight of my time watching the scene. Honestly, Lori going back and forth with Exotic, those two, that storyline was the best part of that episode, to keep it all the way a bando. And then they showed like a highlight of Joyce coming in. Joyce looks really good. Her body, like everything looks good coming down. Like you could see like her surgery, like it looks really good. She looked like a doll, literally, when she first came in. And then they like foreshadowed her having issues with Cuban and stuff like that. So I'm just interested to see how we go from her saying hey to when she walked in to her getting alcohol tossed on her. I want to see what happened in those span of minutes or time, just period, to where they started, you feel me, fighting. Honestly. And do I think that they should be allowed to fight? Absolutely not. I don't think Joyce should be allowed to put her hands on the girls. I don't, but this is not as TV, and they don't care about all that stuff, you feel me? Anyone can get the paws put on them at this point. But yeah, so that was my opinion of, and also my went through of the episode. Lori, that was Lori's episode. I loved it. And I also loved how Lori doesn't mind speaking up her mind when she feels like someone's like picking on someone. So I appreciate Lori kind of being like the voice of fairness. I want to say reason, because I feel like that's a stretch, but just being like, you know, like you're doing too much at this point. Like, just let it go. It really has nothing to do with you, your friend. Especially Diamond wasn't even beat up. And then she won at the same time. So I just didn't get or understand why she was so mad when she had no scratches, no cuts, no. Okay, well, her eye got fucked up because of that sneak or whatever. But besides that, like, it didn't call for her to do all that because she got beat up after. So, yeah. But anyway, shout out to Lori. I love Lori. She's so pretty to me. And then also what was blowing me was Exotic calling her ugly. Now, you know Lori ain't ugly. You know Lori's not ugly. Lori is such a pretty girl to me. Like, she has, like, this sex appeal about her. And I just feel like she just looks so exotic to me. Like, she's gorgeous. And I like her eye shape. And her body's teeth too. It's just like, girl, you a hater. You know a bitch losing an argument, she start calling you ugly, and you know I'm not ugly, girl. Like, say, and I'm tired of girls saying that to Lori, because even on South Central, Chili was calling her ugly. She not.